Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for attending this webinar hosted by Uniting the Central Coast for Action, a program of the SLO Climate Coalition. Our webinars are focused on informing and inspiring local clean energy development and resilience. The recordings of prior webinars are available on our website, sloclimatecoalition.org. I am John Smigelski. I lead the Uniting the Central Coast for Action program. My teammates and I are excited to bring you today's program on green gift giving. This webinar is being presented by Cal Poly College Corps Fellows. During the webinar, you'll be able to use the chat feature to share your ideas, or use the Q&A feature to ask a question of each of the presenters. We'll answer a few questions at the end of each presentation. We'll answer any remaining questions at the end of the webinar. Our moderator for this webinar is Lexi Head, Community Engagement Manager for the SLO Climate Coalition. Lexi?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, John. So today we are going to cover green gift giving. So we have a few different categories on how you can give gifts that are more sustainable and whatnot. And so we're going to go over green businesses, thrifting, gifting experiences, food and upcycled gifts, and donations. The first one we'll jump into is Green and Local Businesses by Finn Torres, one of our College Corps fellows.
All right. So first we have small and local businesses. They are going to be a lot better than buying from large corporations when you're thinking about giving more sustainable gifts. And there are a few reasons for this. One of them is local impact. These small business and local businesses are often deeply rooted in their communities, which can lead to more sustainable sourcing and practices and stronger community ties. And it can also help support local charities and nonprofits within their communities. Local businesses also tend to have much fewer emissions and less waste than larger corporations. They also are able to have quick decision making compared to larger corporations because small and local businesses are often run by typically maybe one or two people or like a family, so they don't have to go through as higher chain of like command basically, and they can make quicker decisions and innovate more rapidly, which can lead to them making sustainable changes faster. They are also more adaptable. They have a lot of adaptability. Small businesses can adapt to changes in the market and change their operations to suit those who do buy their products or services. They also have control over their manufacturing, and which allows them to prioritize sustainability throughout the production cycle, from design to waste reduction, something that is a lot harder for larger corporations to do. And small businesses are also capable of collaborative initiatives, which is the combined efforts of several small businesses that create a substantial impact. All right. We also have green businesses. So what is a green business? A green business is a business that wants to show its commitment to taking action to conserve resources and prevent pollution both in the facility and operations. They also have to comply with environmental regulations in several areas. This entails minimizing water and waste pollution. So a green-based business works to minimize waste, pollution, and environmental impact by using resources efficiently, reducing emissions, and properly disposing waste. They also are supposed to use renewable energy, such as solar, wind, geothermal, or hydropower. They are also supposed to adopt more sustainable practices in all aspects of their operations, including sourcing materials sustainably, reducing their energy consumption, and promoting sustainable transportation. They also have to engage in social responsibility, and this entails contributing to society and the community in a positive way, such as donating to charitable college causes, volunteer time, or support local and social initiatives that align with its values. They also emphasize transparency. So a green business is going to be communicating openly and transparently about its environmental and social impact. This includes discussing and disclosing its emissions, waste management practices, and community engagement activities. All right, so why should you shop local or green businesses? There are several reasons. You can engage in environmental protection. So shopping local can reduce your carbon footprint and promote sustainable living. So when you're thinking about giving gifts, when you're thinking about giving gifts, you can think about local businesses because they often buy from local suppliers, which reduces the need for long distance transportation and packaging waste. Also, you can engage in social responsibility. Many local businesses will prioritize fair labor standards, ethical sourcing, and community engagement. So you know that the gift you're giving is not coming from one of those large corporations or like something like Shein, where you know their workers are underpaid and overworked. You know, a green and local business is usually going to pay their workers and treat them fairly. You can also get quality products. Many green and local businesses will often focus on producing high quality products with sustainable materials, ensuring longevity and durability. So, you know, your gift is going to last a long time and it's going to be quality. You can also, another benefit is you will be supporting a sustainable future. Choosing from local and green businesses will send a message to the market that there is demand for environmentally conscious products and practices, which will encourage other companies to adopt sustainable strategies. And also creativity and innovation. Many green and local businesses will have specialties which will allow the products being sold to be especially good quality and super interesting. Anyone you can think of that you want to give a gift to, there is definitely a local business or green business out there that specializes in their interests, and you can find a perfect gift for them there. Now here we have an infographic of some local certified green businesses in SLO County. We have several examples. If you SLO Health and Wellness is a local massage place. So if you know someone who works a lot or is very stressed, you can gift them a nice spa day. We have Art Cyclery, which is a local bicycle shop. So if you want to gift someone maybe an upcycled bike that needs some work, they provide the services to repair it and make it ready for being given a gift. And also it's a perfect way for someone maybe wants a new bike and they want to greenify their transportation. It's a perfect gift to give from here. We also have the Artery, which is a art supply store. So if you have maybe a friend or family member that loves art, or maybe your child, this would be a perfect place to get some sustainable art supplies. And then we also have another infographic with just some local businesses. Junk Rolls is one of my favorite stores downtown. I have a lot of decorations in my room from it. They have a lot of vintage stuff, so I get like these prints of like informational like vintage things about animals, put them up in my room. They also have jewelry. Items are made by local artists. They have a lot of home decor, and they also sell handmade products. And then Humankind, that's another great place to get a gift. They are also San Luis Obispo's only fair trade store. They have products such as handmade jewelry, clothes, house decorations, and more. All their goods are ethically handmade and up to fair trade standards. And they are also located in downtown SLO. We also have some more local kind of options like Boo Boo Records and Dr. Kane's Comics. They also may have some secondhand records and stuff like that, or secondhand comics that you can buy gifts from there too, for someone who might love music or comics. Or yeah, so when it comes to gift giving, you can find almost anything at a local or green business, and it'll be a good way to make sure you're more sustainable in your gift giving practices.
Thank you, Finn. And for everyone else, we would love to see any of your favorite local businesses in the chat. So if you guys will go ahead and put, yeah, just your favorite local, it doesn't have to be just SLO, the entire county is great, favorite business into the chat. We'd love to see them. And then those will actually get sent out to the recording as well. So we'll be able to build kind of a nice little database for all of us to see where we could potentially shop for the holidays. Additionally, these graphics will be shared out with the recording as well. So if you are enjoying the look of these and want to look at them later, they will be sent out with the recording. Oh, and please feel free to put any questions you have in the Q&A, and we'll be doing questions at the end of each little unit, each topic. Okay, well, let's move on. Our next topic is going to be thrifting, and our College Corps fellow, Gabby Orlando, will be presenting on this.
Hi guys, so we're going to be talking about thrifting. So for those of you who haven't heard about what thrifting is before, thrifting is when you purchase a secondhand item that is already used, and it's a great way to save money. You could find a lot more affordable things. You can also find a lot more unique things or vintage goods. I personally love to thrift things. I have a lot of unique clothes in my closet, and I get a lot of compliments on them as well. And it's a really great way to promote sustainability with the cycle of reusing. So why is it a good idea to thrift? Well, first off, it reduces waste. So someone who, donates something to a nearby thrift store, someone else will see that and purchase it. So it's a really great way to kind of like reduce items out of the landfill and kind of reduce waste by giving things like a second chance of life. It also allows you to find unique and affordable items, like I mentioned before. I also have like unique kitchenware, and I feel like it's tailored more towards my personality. So you can find a lot of cool things at different thrift stores. Another thing as well is that, like I mentioned before, you can keep items out of the landfill, but you can also reduce the demand for new products. So it's kind of like a really great way to just like keep that cycle of reusing going. So what makes a good secondhand gift? So one of the things is books. That's a really great sustainable secondhand gift that you can get. I think the SLO Library is going to be holding a book sale this Saturday, so I would definitely recommend looking into that. Another thing is like vintage finds. So there's a lot of cool home decor. There's frames that you could find. There's really cool kitchenware. There's also like games and toys, so you can look and find like board games or kids' toys. And then there's also like kitchenware as well. So like I mentioned, like all of the plates and bowls like that I have, and you can also find cool like teacups or even glasses, and then craft supplies. So you can actually go to Art Central, which is a really cool art store that's downtown, and they also sell secondhand like art supplies. So if you're into that, I would definitely recommend giving that a look. All right, so some tips for successful thrift shopping. The first thing I would recommend is starting early, because, with thrift stores, there's so many different kinds of things that are at different thrift stores, so you never know. Like if you walk into the first one, you might not find exactly what you're looking for. I think also allocating a good chunk of time as well to go to multiple thrift stores in case you can't find what you're looking for. Plus, it's more fun that way. Check for quality too. That's one thing that I miss, especially when I'm thrift shopping for clothes. Checking for things that are damaged or torn, things that need to be mended, and making sure that things are clean and functional. Another thing that you can do is personalize items. So you could buy like a teacup set and you can make a candle out of it. And you can use like the candle scent that's your friend's favorite, personalizing and making it fun. And then also shopping with an open mind is a really great thing. I know it's really great to have like this idea in your mind and you're like, I want to shop for this. But also keeping an open mind, being flexible. You never know what you might find at a thrift store. There's a lot of cool and unique things there. All right, so the last thing that we're going to talk about with thrifting is some secondhand businesses around SLO that we recommend. So Phoenix Books is a really cool used bookstore. It's really massive too, about 2 stories. Fred and Betty's is also a really cool thrift store if you're looking for like board games and movies. And then the other 3 stores are more like clothing and vintage, and Fred and Betty's also has clothing as well if you're interested.
Thank you, Gabby. Sorry, I was trying to unmute. And again, participants, if you have a favorite, secondhand business that you'd like to put in the chat, please go ahead and do that. And we'll give you a second to do that. Okay. Then we can move on to the next topic. All right, so our next topic, we will have Ava Curtis, another College Corps fellow, talking about some experiences that you can gift for the holiday season.
Hi there, thank you for the introduction, Lexi. I'm Ava, and I'm going to be telling you all about experiences. And what gifting experiences means to me is buying something for someone that they might not do for themselves. And this could be as simple as getting them a pair of movie tickets to a new film that's coming out, maybe a gift card to their favorite local restaurant, or a massage day because they're really stressed out. So it can really mean anything, and you can really do a lot to personalize it to the individual you're gifting for. So why choose experiences as a gift aside from the obvious cool thing? So the first one is you'll reduce waste. A lot of material gifts can create a lot of waste, especially in production, and also the packaging and transportation of it. A lot of waste goes into manufactured gifts, and by gifting an experience, you don't have those problems. So that's a really great reason to gift experiences. Another one is the carbon footprint. If you're ordering something, even domestically or in state, it still has to travel to you. So that's a lot of like greenhouse gas emissions just from traveling. Or again, anything in the production cycle can lead to an increase in carbon footprint for that gift. Whereas again, experiences don't have that. And another big reason to choose an experience as a gift is meaningful memories. Say you get something like an art class that maybe you guys can go to as a friend group, or maybe museum tickets for your friend and their family. That creates awesome experiences and memories with their family and friends and the people that they love the most. And who could ask for anything better than that? So now we're going to talk about the benefits of giving experiences. So the big thing is that they're super customizable. Your foodie or wine loving friend can go wine tasting if you so choose, or maybe they're super adventurous. One of the things on our infographic is a zip line, which is totally cool. Or if you have that one friend who's always super stressed from work, a weekend at a spa, great idea. I think we also have hot springs and stuff, so that's super cool. Another opportunity is supporting the community. So if you are gifting local experiences, like again, to a restaurant or to a campground or wherever, you're helping support the local economy. And maybe you might be supporting a local artist with their pottery class. So there's a lot of economic building opportunities in your community that you could be supporting by gifting an experience. And finally, quality time. Like I said in the previous slide about meaningful experiences, gifting an experience might not just be a quality time for them with their family or friends, but quality time with themselves. They might have never painted before and realize that they love it based on a gift that you give to teach painting. So it's super duper cool, and there's a lot of awesome opportunities for someone to get to know themselves and get to know their friends and family. A lot of great benefits to gifting experiences. On our infographic, if you maybe have one of those more nature minded friends, you can go to the Monarch Butterfly Grove or the SLO Botanical Garden to go check out the wilderness. I personally can say that the Monarch Butterfly Grove in Pismo is breathtakingly beautiful. I remember it and I was like 4. It was amazing. If you have some thrill seekers, there's also the Santa Margarita zipline that I was talking about earlier. And if you have more of an indoor cat friend, there's still the Sycamore hot tubs, which is a nice place to mellow out and stuff, or the aquarium. lot of grab bags of experiences, a lot of great options. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Ava. Yes, I love giving the gift of experiences. And again, if any of you have a favorite experience that maybe you've given as a gift before, now you're thinking of doing, please put that in the chat as well. And that way we can all see it. Okay, and our next topic is going to be about food and upcycled gifts. This one is actually a recording by the lovely Melinda Forbes. She is a local artist, gardener, and cook extraordinaire, and she has been practicing sustainable living for decades, and she will share some of her knowledge with all of us today.
Hello, my name's Melinda, and I'm going to talk a little bit about sustainable gift giving. And I have several different categories that I think about when I give gifts during the holiday season. And one of those gifts, which I have some items here that I've made, are edible or useful gifts. And I feel like this is an important thing to consider when you're buying a gift for someone. So the edible ones, I make a lot of things myself. I make sauerkraut and salsa and mustards and jellies, applesauce, herbal vinegars. And I like to have things handy so that when people stop by, or if I'm going to visit my book group, for example, or my art group, I can take a little gift to share with them. So, I mean, those little gifts could range anywhere from just a single cookie that you take to all your neighbors, maybe a big chocolate chip cookie with a little ribbon tied on top of it, or you could do an entire basket of all kinds of goodies that you made yourself. Or if you're not so much in the kitchen and you'd like to give edible gifts, there's plenty of places where you can buy delicious gifts from our local vendors and local stores. So I think that's a good start. And useful gifts are things like cutting boards, which my husband and I make, and wooden spoons, wooden utensils. I have a very dear friend who is a potter, and she makes these vessels. So one of the things you could do is to buy something that's made by an artisan, to visit a craft fair or a studio. And you could also, like this one, which has a really tight cork, has some chili powder that I made. And I grow a lot of chilies in my garden. And the ones that I don't chop up for salsa or for making dinners and things is when they're dried, I put them in the blender and make chili powder. So it's a really easy way to make a delicious fresh chili powder and put it in a really cool little container. So those are other options you can use. One thing that might be fun to do this time of year is to make some cranberry sauce. So if you're going to dinner at someone's home just to sort of celebrate the holidays, you might take them a nice jar of fresh made cranberry sauce in a beautiful vessel, perhaps. Okay, so I like to make sure that the ingredients I use in my products are healthy ingredients. So I end up purchasing from the farmer's market, or I'll go to the co-op in San Luis Obispo, the food co-op, and buying things in bulk is always a good idea to eliminate some of the packaging and to provide with your gift a reusable package. Okay, so one thing I forgot to tell you about is making hot fudge, because people love hot fudge and it's very easy to make. And I'm not going to give you my recipes, but there's lots of recipes online and it's always a hit and it's delicious. So the second category that I have is to use, make a recycled gift. And you can either do that by visiting thrift stores or garage sales. And if you find a beautiful shirt or some garment, then you could purchase those. And you could also just look through your own closet and see if there's something someone has admired in the past and just pass that on wrapped in a nice packaging. So one of the things I like to do is give a gift that's not going to be difficult for people to wear. So I don't really give people gifts that I've made or recycled, but I like to do them So I'll just put this little jacket on. This is a little jacket that I made. I bought the coat. It had a zipper, but I felt like it had sort of a vintage look. And so I cut the zipper out and I made it look more like a kind of a vintage jacket. So here it is. And I've embellished it with pieces of an old quilt top that I bought at a thrift store. So I was able to use this, whoever made this, probably a woman, her work to do my embellishing. And then I also got this from a friend of mine. It's a little belt buckle thing, but I turned it into a clasp for that.
Yay, thank you to Melinda. I feel like she has so many good things to say about giving green gifts, and her little comment about finding treasures at the thrift stores is so great and reminded me of my family. They always say that. All right. Well, sorry, next one. Next we have Aaron Pierce sharing with us how donations can be a great gift. I'll let him take it away.
Thanks. So, when looking for ways to reduce your environmental impact this holiday season, consider that giving physical gifts accounts for somewhere between a third to a half of your total holiday carbon footprint. So, instead of purchasing more stuff for your holiday gifts, considering honoring your gift recipients with donations to a nonprofit, environmental, or social justice organization. For example, SLO Climate Coalition. There are numerous local, national, and international organizations that will plant trees, protect habitat, help eradicate poverty, or work toward world peace. Whatever your passion may be, you can find an organization that's working on that challenge. On the flip side, you can also let your own desires be known that you would prefer a donation to a specific organization in lieu of a tangible gift.
Perfect. Thank you, Aaron. And then on this infographic, we just have a few of our local nonprofits in SLO County. And so we are, of course, at the very top, but we have some others listed that we love and support as well. And if there's any other spots or nonprofits or groups that you can think of, please feel free to put those in the chat as well so that we can all see them.
Alexi, this is John. The chat was shut off for a while, so it is on now. If you meant to put a chat in and couldn't before, please add it now. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, John. Okay. I think that slide got out of order. Our next topic for the webinar is going to be about sustainably wrapping gifts. So we've talked about how we can give gifts that are green, that are sustainable, and now we're going to chat about how to actually wrap these said gifts. Okay. And we have a little video that our College Core Fellows put on for us.
of those newspaper ribbons as like a ribbon to tie the bag. As you can see, it may take a little bit of trial and error, as they are kind of flimsy and do kind of, break easily. But if you have your own ribbon that you've used from another project, or you have maybe something from a gift you've already received, that could totally work as well. Probably even be like a better option. You can tie it in a bow, make some fun knot, anything you want. And yeah, that's how you do that. All right, now for wrapping an experience, what we did here is we took something and put it on a card. Say something like horseback riding. You make a little card, say, oh, here, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do for you. And then you can do something fun. So as you see, we chose horseback riding. Maybe like you got them tickets to go horseback riding. So we took this little miniature horse, folded the card up kind of like a saddle, and then used one of our newspaper ribbons from the paper bag wrapping and kind of tied it around the horse so the card stays in place. Again, the newspaper is kind of flimsy, so it does break a little bit, but you could also use ribbon or string or anything really to help tie that card in place. And this could also be done in a variety of creative ways, depending on the gift you're getting or what you want to, what you can think of in your imagination. So yeah, again, we chose horseback riding as our gift. So you just decorate the card however you want, draw pictures, maybe do some calligraphy, some fun writing, then find a way to wrap it so that it is on the theme of the gift or the experience you're getting. Something like, maybe going on a hike or zip lining or maybe going to a museum. There are several ways that you can think of and change this around depending on the experience you're giving. And yeah, so that's how you wrap an experience.
We're going to be covering potato stamps today for our video. This is something you can use to decorate plain paper or other objects that you want to make more exciting. So this is going to be just a really simple, fun craft you do with your kids. So what you need to do is just decide on a shape and either stencil it out or just go straight into carving it onto a flat side of a potato that you've cut in half. So with here, we're doing a tree and a star. The key is to make sure you're going to be doing really simple shapes and not to make it too complicated. That way it makes sure it looks good and it's clear what it is once it's actually stamped onto the paper. Right. So you also want to kind of create a little bit of a handle, as you can see with this potato. With applying the actual paint, you can either paint it on a paintbrush and kind of dab it on like we see here, or you can just get the potato and directly stick it right into the paint, but you don't want to glob on too much because then the actual stamp doesn't come out as clear as you would want it to. But with this, try to make sure to reuse any old paint you have lying around from your kids' arts and crafts or your own arts and crafts that you've done in the past. You can also tend to find stuff like this just with family, friends, or something like that. When it comes to actually putting down the stamp, make sure to press hard and firm to get that design on there. To make sure the image is clear, you can also restamp a couple of times or just outline in colored pencil to make sure the designs are really sharp. As you can see right here, we did it later in the video.
All right. Thank you, fellows, for making that and showing us some sustainable ways to wrap our gifts. We also have one more video this is called Furoshiki, and this is by a YouTuber, and they have their own YouTube channel noted here. And Furoshiki is using cloth as a method of wrapping. So we'll just see a quick tutorial here. Okay, super quick video, but pretty neat. And I believe the trick is that you have to use a square sheet of cloth. So we were not able to put our hands on a square sheet of cloth for this webinar. All right, but that is it as for our informational pieces. Next thing is that we just want to invite you all to our sustainable gift wrapping pop-up. That will be this Saturday, December 7th, at the SLO Public Library between 11 and 4 p.m. Feel free to just drop on by. Please bring your gifts. So if you've already done some of your holiday shopping, or you can plan to just go downtown and maybe make a day of it, just bring by any gifts that you have that you're ready to wrap. And our College Corps fellows will be there and will be ready to kind of teach you how to wrap your gifts in a sustainable manner. We'll have newspaper and like other brown paper to wrap in and some cloth and just a bunch of different things that, like you saw in the previous video, that we can wrap our gifts in. And then I just want to thank our co-sponsors really quick. Everyone on this list helped us in promoting this event, so thank you to you all. And last thing, I suppose, if anyone has any other questions, please put them in the Q&A or the chat, and we can answer those right now.
So, Lexi, we have one question from earlier we can address. So I heard someone ask if secondhand businesses also take donations. A lot of these secondhand businesses are curated in thrift stores, essentially. So a lot of them will take donations. The only difference is in comparison to a thrift store or something like Goodwill, they'll be able to like appraise it and they will have the right to say no if it doesn't fit their theme. So a lot of them specialize in more vintage or more good looking like clothing and stuff like that. And if they're like, oh, we have too much furniture, or oh, we have too many of those style jackets, a lot of them will say no, or if it doesn't fit their kind of shop's aesthetic or type of curated goods. If you're unable to give the item to one of the secondhand businesses, you can always take it to one of the thrift stores we highlighted earlier. So what you would be able to get it either way. Besides that, some activities you guys shouted out in the chat was walking in forests, specifically elven forest, and going to Junk Girls or eating a picnic. All of these are good options to do. And if you have any more questions, I can take them right now. If not, I'll stop.
Thank you, Haley. Yeah, and as far as thrift stores go too, like I've always had really good luck donating to Fred and Betty's and Mission Thrift and Goodwill, but yeah, the spots like Calico and some of those more high-end thrift stores, secondhand stores, yeah, they're a little more picky. Great. Well, thank you everybody for coming and for participating. I believe a recording and the infographics will be attached, as well as the chat with everyone's ideas and inputs.
And I want to thank all the presenters for just an absolutely excellent job. So thank you very much, all.
Thank you, John.